Okay, so Juliet decides to carry out a hypothesis test on the correlation coefficient to investigate whether increased annual income is associated with greater happiness. So basically, guys, she's got this correlation coefficient, 0.558, but that is just for her sample, and there's only a sample of 11 people. So she wants to determine is this correlation coefficient strong enough to indicate that there is positive correlation for the whole population. That's why she needs to run this hypothesis test. Now the hypothesis test, well, first it says state why it should be one-tailed. So it's one-tailed because she's testing that there is positive correlation, not that there's any correlation. So that if it was two-tailed, it would be just that there's positive correlation or negative correlation. But she's just testing for positive correlation, so that's all we need to write. State why it should be one-tailed, because she is only testing for positive correlation. Okay, part 2. State the null and alternative hypothesis for this test. Hypotheses. So the null hypothesis is that there's no correlation. Now guys, we have to use the letter rho for these for the testing for correlation hypothesis test. We have to use rho because rho is the R value that we got from part C. This is the correlation coefficient for the sample. Rho is the correlation coefficient for the entire population. So rho is equal to 0 is my null hypothesis, and my alternative hypothesis is that rho is greater than 0. If it was two-tailed, it would just be that it's not equal to 0 but is one-tailed. So that's the null and alternative hypothesis done. And then finally, the critical value for this test at the 5% significance level is 0.549. Juliet assumes that the population is bivariate normal. Okay, so it's important she has to make that assumption. Determine whether there is significant evidence of a positive correlation between annual income and happiness, and justify your answer. So they give us the significance level, or sorry, they give us the 5% significance level, but they also, because this is only 1 mark. Normally, guys, for a test like this, you'd expect 2 marks because you find the p-value and then you say the p-value is less than this and you reject or whatever. But because they've given us the critical value, we don't even need to get the p-value. We just need to say that this critical value, our R value, is it bigger than the critical value? And it is. It is bigger. So determine whether there is significant evidence of a positive correlation. Justify your answer. Yes, there is. As 0.558, our R value, is bigger than their critical value, 0.549, because our R value is bigger than the critical value, there is evidence, well, significant evidence of positive correlation. Okay, so yeah, there is significant evidence, and that's the justification, because our R value is bigger than their critical value. Okay, that's part D.